If you're like me, you can't have enough scarves. I have them in every color and style. But did you know it's really easy to make a scarf from a sweater? This tutorial is a great way to get rid of old, ugly sweaters and turn them into something useful. What's even neater is that there are so many outdated sweaters out there with interesting patterns that would make cute and comfy scarves. Let me show you how to turn a sweater into a scarf, 2 ways. Using a sewing machine, and the second is a no-sew method. It's a great way to reuse something, and if you have old sweaters lying around, it's great to upcycle them. When choosing a sweater, pay attention to the size of the sweater. If the sweater you choose is small, the scarf will fit tighter around your neck, more like a neck warmer. The bigger the sweater, the bigger the scarf. Choose larger sizes if you want a loose-fitting cowl scarf. Also, you can choose the length of your scarf based on what part you leave open, or what part you close up. Let me show you. By having these sides open, and the top and bottom closed, this gives a shorter scarf with more volume. If you want a longer infinity scarf, leave the longer edges open and sew up the shorter sides. That will give you a longer scarf. Part 1. Sewing version. How to sew a scarf into a sweater. Turn your sweater inside out and start the project by laying your sweater flat. Cut straight across the sweater where the armpit line is. Don't throw away this top part. You can use it for other crafts, like turning the sleeves into leg warmers. Place pins on one side of the sweater to hold it in place, and then cut off the hem. Then do the same thing on the other side. The top and the bottom of the scarf need to be sewed closed. Place pins to hold it in place. Then, with a needle and thread, baste it. Do this for the bottom and the top of the scarf. Once the basting is done, remove the pins from all 4 sides of the scarf. Once you're done basting, it's time to sew it. Sew together only the sides that were basted. That's the 2 longer parts of the scarf. This next part is optional, but I highly recommend it. See these edges where I cut off the hem? If I just leave this alone, it could start to fray and unravel a bit. So I'm going to sew across the edge of the fabric where I cut it to prevent fraying. I'm just using a zigzag stitch and going all around the edge of the fabric. Now that that's done, I'm going to fold the edge in about 1 centimeter to create a seam, and then sew it down. Then do the same thing for the other side. And that's it, it's done. Turn your scarf right side out and it's ready to wear. Part 2. Make a scarf from a sweater without any sewing. For no sewing option, you will need fabric glue or fabric tape. Start by laying your sweater flat. Cut a straight line across the armpits. To make it symmetrical, cut the bottom seam off if you want. Cut the side seams off, and then turn your scarf inside out. In part 1, I did things a little differently and turned the sweater inside out first. It doesn't really matter when you turn the sweater inside out, as long as you turn it inside out before you start sticking the pieces together. Next, pin the fabric into place to prevent it from moving. I pinned the top and bottom so it doesn't move while I work on the sides. Put fabric glue along the edge of the scarf and then fold it back about 1 centimeter to create a seam. This will help prevent the fabric from fraying. Press the fabric into the glue to make sure it's glued properly. Then do the same thing on the other side. Turn your scarf over and do the same thing for the other edges. This is what it will look like after. The seam folds inside and doesn't show. Okay, for this next step, the top and bottom of the scarf need to be glued closed. Run a generous amount of fabric glue along the inside edge of the garment, top and bottom. put something heavy on top of your scarf and let it dry. It takes about a day for the glue to set completely. Once it's dry, remove the pins and it's ready to wear. I love wearing scarves when it's cold. It's like a security blanket that I can bring everywhere with me. I hope that you enjoyed watching this video, and I really hope that it inspired you to upcycle old clothes. If you like this video, click like and subscribe for more. And when it's cold outside, put on your scarf, drink some tea, and stay warm, my friends. Thanks for watching!